Observation number 1. You will get rejected, but you will mostly get ignored. Okay, let's roll back. Last month was the 1 year anniversary of the channel. I would have got a slice of cake and celebrate, but after the holidays, I'm sure we all want to eat less food. So let's skip that part. I think it would be good to do like a tip and tricks and observation about being a tech reviewer on YouTube after 1 year. Observation number 1. You will get ignored, but mostly rejected. I maybe sent 200 emails during the year about different brands to see if it would be available to get product for review. I mostly didn't get any answer. Of course, you need to not take it personally, but you're basically asking for a free lunch. So I cannot really imagine if you're a big company like Apple or like Microsoft or Intel, how much like email you get from reviewers and influencers like every week if you're like part of the marketing team for those company. So what was my method? Basically, is like when I find an interesting product or company, I would like check their website if they have a press release, newsroom section. Often at the bottom, you will have the name of someone or a general email on the contact page. Sometimes you would have a web form. Sometimes you would have like no information at all, which is super interesting. And the thing I didn't really realize is that all those companies normally have different structure to how they deal with reviewers. Some, like Seagate, will do it internally, but at the same time, it doesn't really make sense if you're a global company to have a like center where you can repair. But the marketing could be global for North America. Then you could have the Pacific, Asia, and things like that. But the things you would see the most is that often those companies will work with marketing firm to be able to like manage like part of their communication. So I would email the website of the company, and then if I get an answer, a couple of days later, that would be like, "Hi, this is my name, and I'm the PR for marketing for like NVIDIA." And then they would like answer my question, and we would chat. So that's a good way to at least like get a foot in the door, and like if they don't answer or like they say, well, sorry, your channel is too small, is like that's okay. Some other like would give me their own metrics saying like to be able to send like stuff, we need to have you need to have, let's say, 10,000 subscribers. And honestly, that's fair. Other company like Noctua have an interesting system. Basically, you buy the hardware, and when you do a review, you get back like the third of the item back as the price. I really like that because first they answer super quick. Any question that I had, like because I haven't reviewed them, but I have the new G2 coolers, and I wanted to know if I should get the AMD or the Intel one, and they were super quick saying like, well, if you use the offset, you should get the better performance. Well, not the better, the same performance for the a regular one. So for compatibility, we advised you that. So that was really like quick, turnaround and like sending the item. So I really like the way to do it. Of course, you need to pay some money for the item, but if you're a small like YouTuber, at least you can see the same kind of playing field. Observation number 3: the value of the item that you're asking for doesn't correlate with the success you will get. What do I mean by that? Before starting the channel, I talked with a collaborator, and at the beginning, our idea was to do something like Taki Udon or Retro Game Corp, because those retro consoles are really cheap to produce. So we really thought that it would be super easy to get them. But what happened is that Sony were the first to answer for camera, And I was really surprised about that because we're talking about like, you know, a device that can be like $1,000 to $2,000. So, but thinking about it, it makes sense. Like I said, you were asking for a free lunch. So if someone sent a keyboard, well, you're keeping a keyboard. So there's a marketing and a shipping cost for that. But if you're asking for a camera, I don't think they're going to give you the $2,000 camera, except if you're really, really, really big. So what happened there is that they let you borrow the camera for maybe 2 weeks. If you're a big YouTuber, you probably get the first like dibs for it. But after that, like they're gonna use a camera for trade show. But when the show is over, it's sitting on a shelf somewhere. I don't know if they're using them for like testing or like letting people borrow them or different things like that. But basically, they have them available. So if a camera, like when I asked for the ZV-10 Mark One, that camera has been out for what, a year or two. So it was probably already available there for them. So they took a chance letting me borrow it. I had to sign the document and everything, but at the same time, they were getting the camera back in the same like quality. So I think then that show us they are more open to letting people borrow because you just borrow the item versus like asking for a free one. So that's something to be considerate about. Another thing is that please don't harass like those employee because I like when they have a form with a general email like press@apple.com because then there's a big group like sorting it. But sometimes you will have the name of the 3 or 4 people doing the marketing for those company, and having your private or at least one of your business email on a website mean that you're probably going to get a lot of emails. So if a company after 1 or 2 times like don't answer, just move to the next one, and maybe when you're bigger, they could contact you directly. Observation number 4: no one is watching your video, mine include, or at least not fully. Nothing like working for 30 minutes for a video that is like 30 minutes long about a video camera and having people like watching 30 seconds of it. If they watch it, no. So make sure like to understand that that's not necessarily personal. Make sure to have an email available on YouTube. You have a different email for contacting brand, but I also have a general email. And from time to time, I will have a brand saying like, "Hey, we saw which this video you did. Were you interested to work with us?" So that's one thing. Observation number 5: consider your bias and blind spot. What do I mean by that? When a company like send you, I don't know, $400 of hardware and you can keep it, you need to be aware of like when you test it, are you more favorable to that company because they actually work with you and sending you free stuff? I'm not talking about sponsor here. So that would be the one bias. And when I talk about blind spot, I mean like certain things you could miss. Like I have the Dark Rock Pro 5 from a $100 cooler from Be Quiet that they sent to me. But when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna review the Noctua G2, which is a $200 Canadian cooler. But then I think about it, and like for the last year on Reddit, the comment was all like, "Oh, just get a peerless SSA for $40." So I think you need to be aware of like, okay, I have the high end of the product, but maybe when I review it, I also need to consider other options. Now, it's not really like, so I basically have like those 2 cooler I bought for testing them, and then I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with it. But at the same time, I'm it's not necessarily possible for you to buy every product. Promotion can be useful, but it's also mean that the view count can be faked. What do I mean by that? Is that I'll show you here how to set up a promotion for tip number 3. Make sure to understand this video, the section that says this video is not made for kids. I thought, yeah, all my video are like made for kids because they can watch it. But if you want to have comments, you need to say that like this is not a video for kids. Because at the beginning I was like, why do I don't get any comments? Now we can debate philosophically about like the usefulness and the greatness to have comments or not, but it's just some small thing to keep in mind. Tip number 4. No. Yeah, tip number 4. No one knows how the algorithm is working. You will have a lot of video about like, and like you will have a lot of video about how to game the YouTube algorithm, how to get more views. And a lot of those videos are really clickbait. Now, I don't blame the people for doing it because some of them have millions of views, so it's clearly making money out of it. But it's really rare that I watch one video and be like, oh, that was really useful. If you have a really useful video about that and that works, please send it in the link below because I get a feeling that a lot of them are like snake oil kind of like vendor. Now, I'm not trying to obstruct your way to put food on the table. I mean, it's valid. It's just that I rarely watch one of those videos and be like, that's really helped me and that was super useful. This is how you do a new promotion on YouTube. You select content, new promotion, then you choose if you want to have more subscriber or more views. And then you select the video that you're gonna use to show the promotion. Then you choose the country that you want to show this video and the language. You can use more than one country, but depending of the cost by click and impression, it could cost more for the US versus, let's say, India. You can also select the target or multiple language if you want. And then to finish, you select how much and for how long you want to be running the promotion. And then you click on promotion or promote. Observation number 6. I really don't understand watch hours. Now, promotion won't count in the watch hours, so you cannot just pay to get like the 3,000, 4,000 views, but you can definitively pay to get the subscriber count to get the 500 or 1,000 one easily. And it's not going to cost a lot of money just to bear the threshold. Observation number 7. Subscriber don't watch your video. At least when we were at the panel for at Profusion, Gerald Undone, Phil Tommaso, and a couple of others, Mark Bennett, basically saying that maybe like 4% of the subscriber. I don't remember if it's 4, 10%. I need to find like a number that like watch their own video. So yeah, the subscriber count is like a nice metric to tell you how popular is the channel, but that doesn't necessarily mean that like they will be able to help you to grow your channel. So what I wish for year 2, well, hopefully able to get some sponsor or at least monetize. Not that if you don't have a lot of big view count would help, but it would be nice if the channel can generate secondary revenue. Thanks for watching.